proof have you seen that it was stolen, the 2020 election?
Just all them ballots and COVID coming in where people can just mail in whatever they want to mail in. It's just unreal. You should never came to that.
You think COVID was related to the 2020 election?
Definitely. Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah.
It was sent here for that reason. Oh, yes.
COVID was sent here for influencing the 2020 election?
Yes, it was all a big old plan, and it's all going to come out in the end, and we're just waiting for that day and praying for that day, and it's going to come.
And we've lost loved ones. My best friend lost her daughter at 28 years old to COVID. There's no sense in that.
As far as the election goes, yeah, I don't think that the election was done fair and square. I've been watching a lot of information from a lot of people, factual information. Dr. Frank's a great source of information. He started in the beginning pure on accident, kind of like I started my journey on accident. I didn't come out here to try to find all the stuff that I found out. It's just kind of happened as I've gone along. And I mean, what do I think? What do I know? I mean, gosh, if I talk long enough, just about anybody could think I'm absolutely crazy.
My vote was stolen. Okay, may I? Okay, okay, all right. So, I will. When I woke up, okay, after voting, after watching the numbers, and I woke up at 5 o'clock on November the 4th, okay, when I woke up and I saw those numbers change the way they did in my state of Pennsylvania and across this nation to the point where they had excuses, where they had no reason in my mind, okay, when I went to sleep that evening at 1:30, 2 o'clock, I knew who that president was when I was going to wake up. That's not what happened. My vote was stolen. The Democrats and Republicans both have some real wrongdoers. I'll agree to that, okay? I have voted both sides. I voted for Barack Obama twice, and I felt duped, okay? And I know I will never vote Democrat again in my life, ever, okay? And I take that to the bank, okay? They'll never change. Their color has been written. The Communist Party has now taken hold of them, and they are directing them. And people have got to wise up, and they need to do their research, and they need to understand that the truth, the real truth, is out there.
Well, as it says in Genesis 1, verse 1, if Trump wins, it's totally fair. But if he loses, it's a global conspiracy.
The great COVID excuse. They used COVID to change the election and unconstitutionally change it. I'm one of those bad boys, 147 of us that voted against, we objected to the electoral count. We felt like on January the 6th, we wanted investigations. We wanted investigations and we wanted some answers, and we still have not had answers. And if if it's a fraudulent vote, it should not count. We saw 2,000 mules, and I keep hearing over and over again that is a debunked movie. Debunked by who? Debunked by the Democrats. We still haven't seen any evidence that any of that was not true. We had, what do they call it, positioning, geo-positioning with their telephone.
I have one question actually on one of the amendments that was submitted, and then we could perhaps talk a bit about the broader issues that the ranking member was articulating. And that was from Mr. Higgins. And I don't necessarily disagree with your amendment. I think the committee will consider it. I just wonder, you're not suggesting, by virtue of submitting your amendment, that COVID-19 isn't dangerous or serious, and you agree that it's dangerous?
That's not the nature of my amendment. Are you questioning me about the details of my amendment or my opinions about COVID?
The latter. I guess what I'm suggesting, just in the event, as I said, I don't necessarily disagree with your amendment. I'm just asking a question as to whether or not you believe, I suppose it's the latter question that you just posed back, whether you think COVID-19 is serious or dangerous.
I believe that perhaps the gentleman's definition of danger might be quite different from mine.
Okay. So is that a no? Or I'm trying to understand.
Well, they're obviously.
Is it dangerous to you by your definition? I don't.
There's levels of danger concern. I would put a virus along the lines of the flu far down my list of priorities that I would consider as dangerous in my life. I have lived a life that I've stared danger in the eye many, many times, and it never resembled COVID.
Got it. Well, I'll enter into the record. I appreciate your answer. This is an article from August 13th of 2021 from a newspaper titled The Advocate. I think it's a Louisiana newspaper. The headline is Clay Higgins says COVID, quote, almost killed me, remains opposed to mandates. And there's a paragraph here, I'll quote from it, just so that we're clear. It says, regarding COVID-19, Higgins, Representative Higgins, of course, told the audience of several dozen residents at the event organized by the African American Chamber of Commerce that the disease, quote, almost killed me, end quote. Quote, there was a day there when I wasn't sure y'all were going to have to tolerate me much longer, end quote, he said. Quote, my wife, my son, and I got COVID about a month ago, the Delta variant, and I've never been knocked down that hard in my life. I'm fully recovered now. My suits fit better, end quote. So
that is an accurate assessment of yes, sir. I faced death's door from the Delta variant of COVID, and I remain very heavily inoculated, having gained natural immunity and lived through that experience because I'm a healthy American, and I remain unvaccinated by the experimental vaccine, which I'm sure you got. Good luck with that. But I battled COVID a couple of times. One time brought me to death's door, but here I am.
Do you understand how lost in the sauce, how deep in the swimming pool you gotta be to believe that COVID was some type of conspiracy to keep Trump from winning the 2020 election? I mean, let's say that was the truth, right? Then why did Donald Trump dismantle, the pandemic response team? Why did he spend so much time pretending like COVID wasn't real? Then he acted like it wasn't a big deal. Then he told us to inject bleach into our cells. Maybe we can inject UV light into our bloodstreams to kill the virus. If it was a conspiracy, then what it did was it showed how inept and incompetent he is, right? Because if he was really this big bad leader, this big bad strong man, then he would have handled it better. But at the end of the day, all Donald Trump really did while he was president, other than give a tax cut to corporate America and ship 200,000 manufacturing jobs overseas, was make thousands of idiotic tweets and golf more than any other president in history. Again, it's like I always say, it's his antics that they love. And then as soon as his antics and his shtick and his stupidity start to have real consequences on his election chances, well, no. It's not that. It's that it's a conspiracy.